Over the past few months here on the channel, we've discussed a wide variety of Tower of God lore. We've talked about some of the 10 family heads like Arie Han and Kun Edwan, and we've gone into even some of the irregulars like Yurik Mizuno and Enryu the Red Tower. However, today's character is by far the most mysterious and the most secretive in the entire history, past, present, future of Tower of God. I'm not exaggerating because today we're talking about Pentaminum, the Riddle. When your nickname is the Riddle, you know you're like a whole nother level of mysterious. Pentaminum, or Phantaminum in the old translation, is the strongest being in the entire tower, rank number 1, above Yurik, above Enryu, above Jihad. This being, it'd be weird to call him a he, like this being, this entity, is on a whole nother plane of existence from all these other characters that we know about, even Jihad and Enryu. This guy may be an irregular, but he is a part of something that is not even remotely plausible by anyone in the Tower of God universe. It's crazy, but we're gonna try to break him down today, talk about what we know about him, and at the end of the video, I actually have a theory about who the true identity of Pentaminum may be and how he's connected to the story and all the other characters, so definitely stick around. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, then definitely consider it. We're almost at 40,000 subscribers. It'd be super cool if we could hit that sometime soon, and we're on the road to 100,000 by the end of the year. This is the year of the Bonehead after all, so if you want to join the Dr. Bonehead army, that is so cringe, why am I even... If you want to join the channel and be a part of this community, then definitely consider it. So ultimately, there isn't a whole lot known about Pentaminum. What we do know is that he entered the tower sometime within the past few hundred years, and he climbed like crazy, right, because he's Pentaminum, and he entered Jihad's palace, slaughtering high rankers and royals and court officials left and right. The people that he didn't kill were so scarred by this that they lost their minds out of fear. He was just slaughtering people, and he finally got to the room of Jihad, but then for some reason did not kill him. He vanished, supposedly never to be seen again. Now there are rumors about him appearing here and appearing there, but that is all we know about Pentaminum's history. Now we do know that after this happened, obviously the whole tower was in an uproar, like what the frick just happened, right? But the ranking officials still decided to put Pentaminum's rank at number 1, just because of this one instance, this one battle, where he upset the entire tower within a day, slaughtering high rankers, approaching Jihad. I'm assuming that no other ranker or character has ever done that, unless Jihad let them, of course. That is wild. And we do know that because of this incident, the notoriety or the bad reputation that irregulars have, it was mostly because of this. This whole instance of just this irregular suddenly disrupting everything, slaughtering people, ruining the balance of everything. This is a big reason why people have this vendetta against irregulars and are so afraid of irregulars, because if Pentaminum was capable of this, who's not to say that other irregulars aren't? Now, what's really interesting is not only that he spared Jihad during his rampage or whatever, he also spared Yuri. It's said that he actually came across Yuri in the castle and for some reason didn't kill her. We know he was killing other royals and court officials, so it's really strange that he wouldn't kill Yuri as well. Now you could say perhaps that he just took an interest in her or liked her personality, but I actually have more of a theory on that, and we're gonna get into that near the end of the video. As far as Pentaminum's powers go, we know that he is just on another level when it comes to his fighting. It would be hard to even call it a style, but if we are gonna call it a fighting style, it's something that has never been seen before. It's apparently just frightening and intimidating. And we know that he has a weapon, which is interesting, but this weapon is not only just strange, it's never been seen before in the entire tower. It's not just powerful, I should say. It's not this crazy sword or this crazy axe or spear. It's a weapon that has not even been conceived in the thoughts of anyone in the tower. They were just, everything about this guy was just different. It's almost like he wasn't even human or anything related to humanoid. This guy is just different. And that's because, or mostly because of the fact, and I saved this for now, Pentaminum is an axis. Now, I'm going to be talking about what that means, but keep in mind that this is a very complex topic, and I may not be explaining it perfectly. So if you want to find out more about what being an axis really means in the Tower of God universe, then definitely do your research. You can check out the wiki. I'll be providing a basic explanation of it, but again, it's not perfect. Being an axis means that you are an author of the Tales user story. Now, the Tales user story is what SIU has coined as the overarching universe of stories that he creates. So Tower of God is just one story within a collection of stories in this universe known as the Tales user story universe. So when I say Tower of God universe, it's actually more accurate to say the Tales user story universe. Whatever, that's what I'm referring to. Axis users are authors in this universe that have such a powerful and finite say, well not finite, but like such a concrete say in the way that their stories are told. So they're given this great responsibility, and essentially what they say goes. They are the authors of their own story. They're able to author their own destiny almost, and they have this like aura, this plane that exists because of them that they're able to control. It's so confusing and complicated, but the way I look at it is essentially these axis users, or these people who are axises, or whatever the plural of that is, if you can even call them people, they're essentially gods who are dictating the events that happen. They're dictating these stories. They really are almost like the god of the story. And we know that Pentaminum is one of these Axis users. So going even further, we know, according to SIU, that Axis users cannot be defeated by anyone who is not a fellow Axis. And even if you are an Axis, you have to be a more powerful Axis. And we know that Pentaminum is in the top 5 when it comes to Axis users, or people who are Axises in the Tales user story universe, which is crazy to think about, that this Axis actually entered the tower. Now this is when I'm going to start going into a little more theory territory. Why did he spare Jihad? Why did he spare Yuri? What's going on? Did he really leave the tower? Like, what is the deal here? One of the keys to figuring that out is knowing that there is a theory, or there is a rumor in the tower, that the reason that Yurik even entered the tower was to chase after or look for Pentaminum, which is very odd. It means that somehow Yurik, who's from the outside like Pentaminum, knew enough about Pentaminum to want to chase after him. So we know that Pentaminum, Yurik, Bomb, and Ryu, they're all from the outside, right? And that Axis users are essentially gods. What if Pentaminum is this author of Tower of God? What if he is the one that is almost controlling the destiny that is taking place in Tower of God? What if he's authoring the events that are happening? Maybe not everything, but he's at least setting everything into place, right? This might make more sense after I talk about it a little more here. If that is the case, that means that Pentaminum has been watching ever since the very beginning. Ever since Jihad and his 12 buddies entered the tower, Pentaminum has been there. He's been dictating a lot of the things that are happening. Now, if you're saying that there's no proof of this, think about this. Why did he spare Yuri? Why did he spare Jihad? It could have been because of the things I mentioned before, but I doubt it. I think he spared them because they're a part of the destiny and the story that he's trying to tell. Who knows why he's trying to tell this particular tale, but what if Pentaminum spared Jihad because he's setting up Bomb to be the one to take down Jihad and possibly even become the new ruler, or maybe Wangnan becomes the ruler, or whatever. What if Pentaminum has been the destiny that is always talked about in Tower of God for characters like Bomb, right? What if he's the one behind it all? And that would also explain why he spared Yuri, because Yuri plays such a pivotal role in the story of Bomb. Without Yuri, so much would not have Bomb wouldn't have gotten the Black March, he would have failed on the first floor, right? So killing Yuri would have prevented that destiny. He knew sparing Yuri would play right into the story that he's trying to tell. But okay, that's not enough, we're just theorizing here, there's no real evidence, right? I could see you saying that. Yes and no. Obviously, this is all speculation. I'm not saying that there's concrete proof of this, but we know that Axis users are essentially gods, so Tower of God could even be referring to Pentaminum, or maybe Pentaminum setting up Bomb to be the god of the tower. Bomb is referred to as god by people from Thug, so Tower of God could refer to Pentaminum or Bomb. I think that Pentaminum is kind of like a god. He is so powerful, he's able to affect everything that he's able to just create things and set things into course and destiny and blah, blah, blah. I'm explaining it weird. Okay, according to the wiki, every Axis has the power to generate a space around them in which they can use a unique power that cannot be denied or negated. Under the specifications of this ability, an Axis can control some aspect of reality within their own field. Axis primarily have the ability to control the reality of a finite amount of space around them. Now, maybe that's not 100% accurate, there's not a source there, so take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. If this is true, if this is accurate, what if this space is Shinsu? What if Pentaminum is the creator of Shinsu? We're getting into a lot of things here. I'll probably have a whole video breaking down this theory, but my point is, Pentaminum was there. Apparently Yurik knows about him. We know that he must have, if he was this author of this story, he must have been present when they entered the tower, Jihad and his friends. What if when Arlen left the tower, the one that she offered her son Bomb to was Pentaminum? We know Pentaminum's from the outside, and he's an Axis user, and we know that Arlen gave Bomb to the outside god to resurrect. It kind of adds up, right? And if that's the case, then it only makes sense that he would continue to spare Jihad and Yuri and people like that because they're a part of Bomb's tale. Part of Bomb's story in the Tales user universe. That's pretty much, I think it's fair to say that that's a possibility at the very least. That's pretty much all I have about the theory, but when you think about it, it does make sense. Maybe he is the author of Shinsu. Maybe he broke into the palace to kill rankers that were affiliated with Arlen or something, like people who sided with Jihad, like who knows? Maybe he was trying to correct the destiny that he had set forth. Maybe something went wrong. Like, otherwise, what, Pentaminum's just this Axis that broke into the tower and killed people just because? It wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. So when putting it into this perspective, considering that he could be the outside god, I think it makes a whole lot more sense. Okay, so that Tower of God lore was definitely a lot more theory than usual. Usually I just talk about the facts, but ultimately I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Could Pentaminum be the outside god? Once again, like I mentioned, I will probably make a whole video breaking down this theory, and maybe after hearing your guys' thoughts, maybe you have more proof, or maybe you have something to say against it, I don't know. Also, there's not many pictures of Pentaminum out there, so probably this video won't have as much editing as usual, but hopefully you guys don't mind just staring at my face the whole time. Alright guys, thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you in my next Tower of God lore video. Take care.